morning. Doesn't Dolly just wake you up? I just love that. Welcome to the Marysville Tulalip Chamber of Commerce Business Before Hours event. We have a great program today. Before we get started with that, I want to do a couple brief announcements. One is, you may notice on the table in front of you is one of these forms for the annual awards. For any of you guys who were there with us at the auction last year, you got to see us present these awards to some very deserving business owners and nonprofits, and it was awesome. So I would love to get your input again this year. Just put down a name of a business and maybe one sentence that talks about why you think they deserve an award and the recognition. And if you guys could do that today while you're here, well, it's kind of on the top of your mind, that would be great. We do have a basket on the way out. It is anonymous, so you can put your own business down and just say best business ever. You can also put down anybody that you know on Business Person of the Year and just say because they're really nice. Whatever works for you guys, but we do want to get your input today if that's possible. Also, wanted to let you guys know there's also flyers up front, and this is in your email from us. The Chamber Luncheon is coming up September 10th, and we're going to have Nikki Roush back. And a couple of you guys were here for Nikki Roush when she did the buying signals, and she had the antennas on us, and we were hearing about all these good sales tips. Well, she's going to teach us about closing the sale now. And so that will be at the Opera House on the 10th, and then there's going to be 2 follow-up workshops. So those of you guys who are in the sales industry that you really want more information, you want to be able to use actionable items and have her work with you one-on-one, she will be doing workshops with the Chamber for 2 weeks following the September 10th event. So if you would like to sign up for that, that's up front as well. And then lastly, we are starting a 3-month referral drive. And so this is a member-to-member type reference. So our goal is to gather warm leads for businesses that you guys know need to be plugged in a little bit more. Perhaps it's a business that you work with closely, is a power partner to you, somebody that you see maybe struggling, needs a little bit more help connected to other business services within the community. And a lot of times, business owners are so busy that they have a hard time getting out and connecting. So that's what we try to make possible here with the Chamber. So anybody that you know that fits that. And then of course we'll be doing a plethora of prizes for offering up those names and having people join, and it's going to be a really awesome event. So you'll see more about that coming up in your newsletter as well. And so now let's go ahead and get us started. And if you could help me welcome up our Chairman-elect, Ken Kettler, to the stage. Thank you.
Thank you all for attending this morning. We look forward to an exciting update on Snohomish County, which we know is thriving the last couple of years as we continue to grow and have available land north of Seattle. I'm filling in for Dom Amore, who is our chairman at the board. Dom's on a needed vacation up in Alaska. Him and I went the week before. We're actually crossing paths last Saturday on the same boat up to Alaska. So we're going to share stories next week because I definitely have a few. We went up with 14 people. It was our 25th wedding anniversary, my wife and I. So we let it, people knew where we were. I want to recognize a few of the elected officials that have RSVP'd. So have them please wave and let us know you're out there, and then please save your applause to the end. We have Mark James with the Marysville City Council. I don't know if Mark was there. He is. Thank you, Mark. We have Mel Sheldon with the Tulalip Tribes Board. Mel's sitting out there with Marilyn Sheldon, who is in charge of our community grant funds. She oversees the program, really a challenging job. This last year, close to $7 million going back to the local communities, including Snohomish. So thank you, Marilyn, for your hard work, and the tribe for those wonderful needed donations to all the surrounding support areas. And then we have our speaker today, Nate Nehring, having breakfast. So thank you for attending this morning. We also have some RSVPs from our board members. Jason Thompson, Marysville School District. Stephen Powell with the Marysville Globe. I'm here. Becky Mulholland, if she's not with the Mariners. I know she's feeling, there she is, feeling pretty good here lately. And then our CEO and president, Jessica Stickles. And last but not least, Vance Titus with SCORE, great organization to help small businesses and startup businesses. Again, we thank all the directors for being here. Our breakfast before hours sponsor for this morning is First Financial Northwest Bank. I want to give them some time up here, and please help me in welcoming Amanda Calouette with First Financial, who will do her presentation. Amanda, please come up.
Lights are bright. You did a very good job pronouncing my last name, by the way. So thank you, everyone. Again, I'm Amanda Calouette from First Financial Northwest Bank, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about Treasury Management. I'm the Treasury Management Manager, working with these fine fellows up here, over here with First Financial Northwest Bank. Who's doing the PowerPoint? Is there a clicker? Thank you.
Yeah, right there.
There you go. Here we go. Okay, so a little bit about us. I don't know how many of you are familiar with us in the community, but we have been around for over 95 years. We're highly rated. We're a community bank, highly rated. We are now expanding, and we're up to 11 branches, going on 12 branches. And what's important to us is to be in the communities, not being in the downtown metro areas, but being out in the communities, working with businesses like yours. What makes us a little bit different than other larger financial institutions, and I know every financial institution says they're different, right? Well, we are different because we really value the community, and everything we do is around the customer and around the community. And so we're able to provide a really high-touch, concierge-type service to our clients, meaning if you need something done, we're going to find a way to do it. So if there's anything at all that you need, we're gonna be a little bit different, step outside of that box that most banks are operating within, and try to really help you accommodate what you need. Your business you should be focused on your business and allow us to fit into your world versus making you fit into ours. Again, we're very community focused. We like to focus on the communities that we live and we work in. And most of us don't live in the downtown metro areas, and so it's important for us to be able to focus on those businesses that we go to every day. And I think that I've found in the last few years, a lot of clients don't know that we are a full-service community bank, meaning we can provide any kind of business banking need that you may have. So we can provide the normal checking accounts, online tools, things that remote deposit, ACH wires, things that you have come to require from your banks. But what makes us different is the way we come out and talk to our clients and get to know our clients. So we're not going to come out to you and say, do you need remote deposit? Do you need wire transfer? Do you need ACH? That's not what's important to you. That's not what's important to us. You want a banker that knows your business. And so for us, it's a matter of coming out and understanding how you do business. How are you paying your payroll? How are you paying your vendors? How are you collecting your money? And how are you using the information that we can provide to you, or are you using the information that we can provide to you? And so for us to understand fully what you do and really dig deep and understand how you operate and what makes you unique will allow us to then bring services that make the most sense to you and not just sit here throwing product at you. What's also important to us is being able to provide it to you in a way that's most meaningful to you, and it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg, right? You want to be able to do your banking and not have to worry about how much is this going to cost me this week? Can I read my analysis statement? Can I read my fee statement? We want to be as transparent as possible and deliver it to you in a meaningful way that makes the most sense to you and doesn't cost an arm and a leg. We're also we're fortunate now we've got the leadership that we have because they're really supportive in bringing to clients the unique services that you may need. So I've been in banking a long time, longer than I even want to share. But what I've noticed in Treasury Management in particular is banks will usually, product folks at banks have these great ideas, right? These great ideas, every client's going to want it. Why aren't they going to want it? Every client should use this. Why don't they want to use this? But they don't actually talk to the client to find out what will really work for you. And so we're in a position now where we can really learn from you, find out from you what you want, and then deliver the products to you that you need that will resonate best with you. So if you're working with your banker and they're not trying to understand what your business is, they're not trying to bring services that will work for you, and step outside of that box, I think you should demand it, right? So you should have a banker that's also going to talk to you about fraud prevention. Do you have a strategy in place for fraud, to prevent fraud? Are you utilizing the tools that are available to you and can you use those tools at no cost to you? So I'm trying to do this all really quick. So our focus is you. So I put this slide in here to show you that regardless of what area in the bank that is working with you, whether it's customer facing or behind the scenes, whether it's operations, whether it's executive management, whether it's our project teams, our product teams, the ultimate focus is going to be our client and the community. We're all required to volunteer in our communities. So all of us that come to First Financial Northwest Bank are focused on doing work within our communities. It's part of what's required, but it's what everybody wants to do. So that's important to us to be able to utilize the services that you're offering and be able to bring a service to you. So everything that we do when we're talking product, when we're talking to executive management, what I find is they're always saying what's best for the client. And I can tell you from my years of experience working at different larger banks, that's not always the case. So it's been, you can feel good that whatever service we're going to bring to you is going to be with you in mind. If you need something different, special, we can be nimble and we can accommodate it, usually. As long as it's being highly regulated, there's some certain things we can't do, but we're going to do our best to accommodate what you need and make sure that we can fit into your worlds again, and you don't have to fit into ours. So I have a great team here that's local. I'm located down in Renton, but I get up here quite often. If there's anything that we can help you with, if you want us to come out and evaluate your business, evaluate your the services, we can be bank agnostic if you just are looking for help with creating a fraud prevention strategy. We're here to help you. So I think my time is about up. If you guys have any questions, we're right over here, and we'd be happy to talk with you after the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. And as you can see, if you can use services locally, they can certainly meet a lot of our needs there with banking. So we appreciate that presentation. You just witnessed sponsorship for our Business Before Hours. We have 2 openings left towards the end of the year. So if you haven't participated before or you would like to update us on your business, we have 2 opportunities still remaining. You get a 5-minute presentation, as we just saw, company recognition on all marketing and mail outs. And then there's videos that are shown on 2 local cable channels, as well as the Chamber's YouTube channel. You can contact Ann at the office if you have any questions, want to know what the dates are. She will certainly be helpful to you there. I have the pleasure now of introducing this morning's speaker, Nate Nehring. Nate represents the communities of Marysville, Arlington, Stanwood, Granite Falls, and Darrington on the Snohomish County Council, where he serves as vice chair. Council member Nehring's priorities have included a fiscally responsible county budget, working with cities on unique and innovative ways to address homelessness and reduce crime, and expanding access for youth to pursue careers in the skilled trades through the Regional Apprentice Pathways Program. Nate is also involved and heads up a number of committees that deal with the region up here in the northern side that we know is so strong and growing for new business. That's an important balance, I think, with all the things that Nate has focused on. His dad I talked to earlier would be, you see him missing this morning, and I said, you're going to get to see Nate Friday. He says, I won't be there. I have to take my other son up to school. College started. So he's here in spirit for sure. Please welcome Nate Nehring to the stage.
Thank you, Ken. I appreciate that introduction, and thank you all for the opportunity to come and give an update on Snohomish County government this morning. I appreciate you all being here. I thought I'd just start by giving a little background about myself. I know many of you, but for those who don't know me, my name is Nate Nehring, and as Ken mentioned, I represent District 1 on the Snohomish County Council, which is North Snohomish County, the cities of Marysville, Arlington, Stanwood, Granite Falls, Darrington, and then unincorporated county between those cities. And I've really enjoyed my time there. I've some great people working with and really great things that we have an opportunity to work on in the community, and some awesome partnerships with our cities, tribes, and our state and federal partners as well. I've lived my whole life in Snohomish County. Both my wife and I were born and raised in Snohomish County. We currently live in Arlington with our 10-month-old daughter, Kennedy. Didn't put any pictures of Kennedy in the PowerPoint, but you can check on Facebook if you'd like to see some photos of her. And we really love this community, love living here and working here. My wife works in Marysville School District. She teaches and coaches, and so we both have a great time here. Today, talking about Snohomish County, I have a few things I'd like to go over, but I also want to be sure to leave some time at the end for questions. I find that that's usually the most valuable part of these, is when you all have an opportunity, if there are things that are on your mind about Snohomish County or anything else, that you have an opportunity to ask questions, and we can talk about some of those things. But here's some of the things I'd like to touch on today: the Snohomish County budget, some economic development that's happening in the county, our Regional Apprenticeship Pathways program that Ken had alluded to, some transportation projects, and then homelessness and drug abuse. Just some light topics for this morning. So getting right into the county budget, we have a budget of over $1 billion that we pass each year. So some cities pass biennial budgets. We pass a budget annually. So every year we pass that. And how that process works is the county executive's office starts working in about May or the springtime to develop the budget. They work with departments and other independently elected officials to bring the county budget together. And then the county executive will deliver his budget in September. So just in a few weeks here, he'll deliver his budget. And then that will go up to the county council, and we'll deliberate on that. There are often a few amendments, and then ultimately we'll pass a final budget, usually before Thanksgiving. So we're getting right into the heat of the budget process here. Of that $1 billion, about a quarter of that, or a little over $250 million, is our general fund. The rest is usually dedicated revenue that goes to dedicated expenditures. And that pays for all sorts of services. Some of those services are specific to unincorporated county residents who don't have city services, so we're the core service provider. And then others are regional services that go to both unincorporated residents and residents who live in cities. So examples of services in unincorporated county would be our county sheriff for law enforcement, county roads in between cities, and then county parks. I don't know if anyone's had a chance to get out to Wenberg Park near Stanwood, a beautiful new renovation there that brings us up to ADA compliance. That's a great new boat launch. And then we've got Kayak Point, Whitehorse, and Darrington, just some beautiful parks in Snohomish County that we're known for, and we really love that. Over the years, go to the next slide here. Over the years, property taxes have been rising quite a bit in Washington State, and that's due to some big changes at the state level. Sound Transit's passed some measures with car tabs and other things. So at Snohomish County, we've tried really hard to make sure that we're reining in our taxes and spending, and trying to be sure to relieve as much of the burden we can from homeowners. And part of the reason for that is I know folks who live in like Lake Stevens and Linwood who have seen some of the biggest increases, between 35% and 40% just in a single year in their property taxes. And so what we've tried to do is pass balanced budgets that don't increase property taxes at the county level, and we've been successful in doing that over the last 2 years. We've been able to pass balanced budgets with no property tax increase. And last year we had, I thought was a really great conclusion to our budget. We were able to put over $2.5 million into our strategic reserve fund, or our rainy day fund. And why that's important is because local governments are somewhat reliant on sales tax revenue. And that's great when we're in a good economy like we are right now. But there's going to be a downturn. There's always ups and downs. And what we want to do is ensure that when we hit a downturn, we're not having to lay off staff and cut core services. And so when we had that revenue come in, that extra $2.5 million, rather than program that into spending, which we'd have to pay for ongoing spending, we decided to put it away for that rainy day so that we can use that when the economy takes a downturn. And so I was proud of that in our last budget, that we were able to do that. And what you see on the screen here is the property tax breakdown. It can be a little confusing because when you get your property tax bill, it's from the county treasurer. So a lot of people will call and say, gee, why is the county getting, X amount, thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars in our property tax bills when they're not providing all those services? But because the treasurer is one of those core service providers that I talked about, they collect property taxes for the state, for school districts, fire districts, hospital districts. We don't have mosquito districts in Snohomish County, but they have those in some counties in other areas of the country. And you can see a breakdown here of where your property taxes go that are collected by our county treasurer. And you can see that the county's general fund is about 7 cents out of the dollar, and then roads, I think, is about 6 cents. Can't read it here, but if I remember correctly. So about 13 or 14 cents out of the dollar in total goes to county government. And you have some that goes to cities, to the state, school districts, fire districts, all sorts of other special taxing districts. And so that's a little bit about where your property tax dollars go. So for the 2020 budget, I mentioned we're getting right into the heat of that right now. We have a goal as a council of, again, trying to see if we can pass a balanced budget with no increase in property taxes, and we believe we can do that again. And then maintaining our rainy day reserves. So we had that $2.5 million commitment last year. That was the largest contribution to the rainy day fund in the county's history. What we'd like to do is add more to that. The economy's still been going well. We have good sales tax revenue coming in, and so we'd like to see if we can put some more money away for a future downturn. Economic development in Snohomish County. We're seeing a lot of population growth, and I know we can all feel that, and it's all over the county, up in North County and South County and in East County as well. The projection is that we'll have over 250,000 new residents over the next couple of decades. So right now we're a county of over 800,000 people in population. Soon we'll surpass Pierce County to be the second largest county of the state, second only to King County, with over 1 million residents. And that brings with it a lot of challenges to affordable housing, to transportation, but it also brings some significant opportunities for our county as we grow. And one of those opportunities lies in economic development, really growing our local economy. Snohomish County has one of the strongest local economies in the state. We have one of the lowest rates of unemployment, and we want to do everything we can to continue that into the future. So one of the biggest economic development opportunities recently in our county has been the arrival of commercial air service at Payne Field. How many people here who have had the chance to take a flight out of Payne Field? I see a lot of hands. And how's it been? What's the experience? Great. That's awesome to hear. I have yet to hear a complaint about passenger service out of Payne Field. I've heard some great experiences about getting in just 10 minutes to get through security and get into the gate. We've had a great partnership with Propeller Airports who's come in, and it's a really unique public-private partnership. I think we're the only airport in the entire country that has this kind of unique public-private partnership where Propeller Airports has come in and put $40 million of private investment into this airport, which they lease from the county. And we've been blessed to have Alaska and United coming in and doing 23 flights per day out of Payne Field along the west coast and the southwest of the United States. And just a couple of weeks ago, it was announced that they're going to start doing flights from Everett to Spokane, which is great. We've heard a lot of people asking for those, and so Alaska's been great in responding to that and putting those flights on. Commercial air service is great not only for passenger service, so we don't have to battle traffic down to SeaTac, but it's also great for economic development. When I go out and talk to businesses who are from out of state about potentially locating here in Snohomish County, one of the biggest obstacles that they raise is the traffic congestion, especially between Snohomish County and Seattle or King County. And that's very difficult. And so having an airport in our county where a tech company from Silicon Valley can fly right in, do their business, maybe set up a satellite location and fly right out the same day is a huge advantage for Snohomish County and has really put us on the map. And so I'm really excited to see where we go with commercial air service in the future. The other one I'd like to touch on is the Cascade Industrial Center. This was just recently designated by the Puget Sound Regional Council, formerly known as the Arlington-Marysville Manufacturing Industrial Center. This is, I think many of you are familiar with this, but over 4,000 acres of land designated for manufacturing industrial use, the largest area of its sort in the entire Puget Sound region, and is a big asset, not just for Arlington and Marysville, not just for the county, but for the whole Puget Sound, because you just don't see those big areas of land in this region like that. Both cities, Arlington and Marysville, have done a great job. A few years back, they went to the legislature and were able to get a bill passed that allowed for a property tax credit for businesses who come into this area if they expand. And in order to meet that credit, they have to create at least 25 jobs that pay at least $18 an hour. And so the cities have done some great work in putting the infrastructure in place to make this work. PUD, stormwater, the road network, air, rail, all sorts of connections in and out of this manufacturing industrial center. And we'll talk about some of the transportation projects that are related on another slide. But we've already seen some businesses that are coming in and locating here. I know Web Industries was a recent one. And so both Arlington and Marysville have just done a great job and found some great early success on this. The Regional Apprenticeship Pathways Program is something that I've been working on with, particularly with the Marysville School District, who's just been a phenomenal partner. Also, Everett Community College has been a great partner, and then several of our local cities and school districts, so Marysville, Arlington, other North County cities. Chairwoman Gobin from the Tulalip Tribes has been a great partner with their Great Tarot program, which is really impressive. Had a chance to go and see their graduation, and so we've tried to take their model and take some of the great things they're doing and try to work that into this. But what it is it's a program for high school students and college students to receive training in the construction and building trades. I don't know how many of you, when you were in high school, had the opportunity to take shop classes or other hands-on classes. But I was in high school not too long ago, and those opportunities have really been declining over the years. And I think that's in part due to our society really trying to push people down the four-year college path, which is a great path. I took that path, and it was really valuable. But there are a lot of people who can go into a successful career through the trades, and there's a huge need for it. We've got a big workforce gap in the Puget Sound region that we hear about all the time when I go out and talk to our contractors and others. And there are a lot of kids who can really have success with this pathway. The issue that we found was that there's not a whole lot of connection between high school or post-high school, right, when kids graduate, and these apprenticeship programs that exist. So oftentimes, in talking with some apprenticeship programs, they would say they see a 10-year gap. So when somebody graduates high school at 18 or 19, often they're not coming into an apprenticeship program until they're 27, 28, 29, and they've been spending that 10 years in a minimum wage job or some other deal that they've been in for the last 10 years. And so what we try to do is close that gap and build a seamless transition where somebody can go into high school, get some skills and hands-on training that will enable them to go straight into a certified apprenticeship program directly after high school. And so that began with a discussion with labor, industry, education partners. I mentioned the Marysville School District and Everett Community College. What we found was that the county was able to put in about $200,000 in seed money to get this started, and then the Marysville School District was very gracious in allowing their campus to be used at Marysville-Pilchuck High School. They have a great building that used to be an old shop building that's currently being used for storage, and so they generously allowed us to use that for the program. But what we found was in order to pay for those ongoing operating expenses, so staff, equipment, the things that you need to pay for year to year, we wouldn't be able to pay for from either the county or the district. And so what we did is we brought a group of stakeholders together from education, government, business, labor, and together we formed a stakeholder group that went down to the legislature. We met with Governor Inslee's staff, we met with our legislators in Snohomish County and throughout the state, and really pushed for this as being a potential model statewide. And that's, we're very glad. That's the way that Governor Inslee's staff saw it. They said this fits right into their Career Connect model, and they'd love to see this kind of used as a model that could be expanded statewide. And so he included part of it in his proposed budget to the legislature. We then went down and really lobbied hard with our representatives, and Representative Mike Sells was a huge advocate for this and really just did a ton of heavy lifting and hit it out of the park. What we asked for was basically a 2-year pilot or 2 years of funding to get this off the ground and see if we could build something and hopefully go back for more in the future. And Representative Sells was able to get this built into law, and so we now have a sustainable ongoing funding source of $1.5 million per biennium from the state legislature specifically for this program in Snohomish County, which is a huge blessing because, when you look at the state and we're all sending property taxes, sales taxes, other forms there, it's really important that we work to bring that money back to our communities so it's not just going to bureaucracy or other places in the state. We really want to work as hard as we can as local governments and residents to make sure that we're bringing that money back home, and so I think this is a great example of that. Upon completion of this program, which is a year-long program of hands-on training, students would receive their high school diploma. Everett Community College has worked really hard on designing a credential specifically for this program, which students would receive upon graduation. And then we have several great partnerships with state-certified apprenticeship programs so that a student who goes through and completes the program can get preferred entry into one of these apprenticeship programs and then hopefully on to a successful career in the skilled trades. So really excited about that. And again, the key to that is great partnerships, especially with the Marysville School District, who's been great to work with, Everett Community College, and a lot of these different businesses and labor groups we've been able to partner with. Next is transportation. And transportation's a tricky one. I think if you ask people what's one of the biggest issues we face, traffic congestion is always near the top. And it's a difficult issue because it costs a lot of money to build roads or to complete transportation projects. And not only does it cost a lot of money, but it takes a long time to get them completed. And I'll just give one example. One of the county's biggest transportation needs right now is the US 2 trestle. I drive that to work when I head to the county office. I know a lot of people take that from the east side into Everett. And a fix for the trestle, they're looking at over $1 billion, and that's without adding any capacity. That's just redoing the westbound trestle. And so, our county budget every year is just about that, and we can't put our whole budget into the trestle. It's a federal highway, and so the way that we pay for some of these transportation projects is local governments, cities and counties will come together and put some skin in the game. We'll put some money down. So the city of Lake Stevens, for example, has been working on the trestle. The county put $1 million into it in our last budget. And then we'll go to our state legislators and our federal representatives in DC and say, hey, this is a really important project. We've put some money down for design, and we'd really appreciate getting some help on this and partnering together to make this happen. And in North Snohomish County, we've been really blessed and had some great advocacy from our cities especially in going down to Olympia and getting some of these projects completed or funding secured, I should say, not quite completed yet. So on the board here, you can see some of the projects for North Snohomish County, over $200 million in funding that's been secured from the state from 2019 through 2025 from the state's last Connecting Washington Transportation Package. And this is through the work of the cities who have gone down and advocated for this. 2 brand new interchanges, SR 529 and I-5, and then 156th Street, there will be a brand new interchange. And I mentioned the Cascade Industrial Center earlier. One of the big questions a lot of people have asked about that is, you're putting a bunch of jobs there, potential for 25,000 family wage jobs. How's that going to affect traffic on 172nd Street? So one of the things that that the cities have done is advocated for this 156th Street interchange where there's an existing overpass, but there's no interchange, so you can't get on and off from I-5. And so once that's built in 2025, then you'll have another route into the Cascade Industrial Center, which will hopefully relieve some of that traffic onto 172nd Street and exit 206 in Smoky Point. And you can see some of the other projects there, interchange improvements at Highway 531 or Smoky Point, 116th Street and 88th Street. And so this is, again, important because these are dollars that come from our community, go to Olympia, and our cities and other partners have done a great job of going and bringing those dollars back home for some of these critical transportation projects. The last thing I wanted to touch on before opening it up for questions is homelessness and drug abuse. This is one of the biggest priorities I've had since coming into office in 2017 has been working on this issue. It's an issue that communities face all throughout Snohomish County, throughout Washington State, and all over the country. I don't think there's a county in the United States that hasn't been affected by the heroin and opioid epidemic and homelessness in one way or another. One of the unique things about Snohomish County is that we've been able to bring on board some great programs which have seen some early success. And I think, if you look at what's happening in other areas of our state, in Seattle, for example, you see a lot of money being put in. I just heard a stat the other day that they're putting in enough money into this homelessness issue to pay each homeless person over $100,000 a year, which is just incredible because the problem continues to get worse, but it seems like money keeps getting thrown at it and not a whole lot of improvement is being made. And I think the reason for that is the approach, and that's why I'm so proud of what we're doing here in Snohomish County, particularly in the northern part of the county, with our partnerships with Arlington and Marysville, through the Law Enforcement Embedded Social Worker Program. And I know we've had Chief Smith and the mayor have come and talked about this program, so I won't go through the whole thing. But basically what it is it teams up law enforcement officers with social workers who go into homeless encampments and work to build relationships with these individuals and get them connected with treatment, housing, and then eventually a job so they can get back into a healthy and sustainable lifestyle. The difference between that and I think what happens in Seattle and some of these other places is the approach that's taken in some of these other communities is, hey, we've got all this money that's being put into services, it'd be great if you go get it, but if you don't want to do that, then it's okay if you just continue sleeping on the sidewalk, camping out in front of businesses, shooting up heroin in the streets, committing property crimes. There's not a whole lot of stick to go with the carrot of the services that are being provided. In Snohomish County, we have that carrot and stick approach, and so we absolutely want people to go into those social services that we're making available. We've got some great medicated assisted treatment programs, housing opportunities, both short-term and long-term, and then we've got an employment grant for job training specifically for individuals who are recovering from substance abuse. So we have these services available. We really are working hard to push people into these services, and our social workers and police officers are doing a great job of that. But if people are just giving them the runaround and saying, yeah, we want to just continue to live this lifestyle, we're not interested in that, then they're going to get arrested and they're going to get moved on. And we've built a reputation here, especially in North Snohomish County, that we're not going to tolerate people camping on the street, shooting up heroin in broad daylight. And we've been very strict about that and seen some great success. I had an opportunity to do a ride along with our embedded social worker team, and we had picked up an individual and we're working with him to help him, and they had gotten him into a facility in eastern Washington. All the facilities were full in the county at that time, and so they got him a bus ticket, and we went down to the Everett station to get him on the bus. And if anybody's been to the Everett station, there's a large there's a big homeless area near the Everett station. There's a lot of individuals who are homeless who are in that area. And we had several individuals come up to the police car, and these were Marysville Arlington employees, the police officer and social worker. But the folks from Everett came and said, hey, we've heard about your law enforcement embedded social worker program. We live in Everett, but can you help us? We'd like to get this sort of help. And I think that's just awesome, that reputation's being built in North Snohomish County, that we're out to help people, but we're also not going to put up with that behavior. We really want to get you into treatment and get you that motivation to get help. And so that's been really critical. We've seen some great early success. I've talked to both the Arlington Chief, Chief Ventura, and Chief Smith from Marysville. I think we've gotten over 70 people in total graduated through a treatment program, and that's just in the first 9 or 10 months of the program. So some great early statistics. Yeah. And they've just done a phenomenal job. I can't speak highly enough of these police officers and social workers. Like I said, I've been able to go out and witness what they're doing, and they just do a phenomenal job. It couldn't happen without their great work. And so very proud of that program. And there's still a lot of work to be done. That's not by any stretch to say that we've solved homelessness and everybody needs to do what we're doing. I think there's a long ways to go, but what's important is that we're making good steps in the right direction. And that's being recognized. This program has been talked about on national television, national radio, and we've had people from California, other areas of Washington State calling, asking how can we implement something similar in our community. And I think that's what's the important thing is that we're making those positive steps in the right direction, while other communities are maybe seeing some increasing crime rates and not seeing a whole lot of progress. One of the other things with the homelessness and the opioid epidemic I wanted to touch on was a ban on heroin injection sites that the county put in place last year. I had the opportunity to go with Scott Bader from the Everett City Council to Vancouver, Canada, where they have a safe injection site, they call it, where they allow for people to come in and under medical supervision, inject themselves with heroin, and then they had what was called a chill room with taxpayer-funded laptops where they would go on after they had shot up with heroin. And so I wanted to go and see what this looked like, because Seattle and King County are bringing these sites to Seattle. And they're having conversations right now about mobile injection sites, but they've already put in the works to bring these facilities to Seattle. So we parked about a mile away from the facility. And what really struck me, even more so than what we saw in the facility, was what the community around it looked like. We parked about a mile away, and just in that mile walk from where we parked to the injection site, there were hundreds of people out in the street with needles in their arms in front of businesses where families or kids would have to go if they wanted to access these businesses. And so it had just completely destroyed the character of the entire community, and it was really heartbreaking to see. And so we came back and said, we don't want this anywhere near Snohomish County, especially with King County doing it. A lot of times things will start in Seattle and then they'll kind of spread out. And so we proactively drafted a land use ban on heroin injection sites, and I introduced that in March of last year, and that was passed on a unanimous vote. So we were able to ban those sites, and several cities have followed suit, including the city of Marysville and several other cities in Snohomish County. And so I think it's important, we're putting a lot of resources into this issue, and it's important that we do because it's a big issue. Resources into treatment, into housing, into job training. But when we're putting taxpayer dollars into those resources, I think taxpayers have an expectation that we're going to see some success and hold people to that. So we have to have that carrot and stick approach, I think, where we're not putting up with the property crimes, we're not putting up with the heroin abuse, where we're saying we really want you and need you to get into this treatment, get onto a healthy and sustainable lifestyle. That's advantageous not only for the community, for all of us, it's also advantageous for the individual. I don't think there's anything compassionate about letting someone continue their heroin addiction and continue that life of suffering. There's nothing compassionate about it, no matter what Seattle says. I think the compassionate thing to do is help that person get into treatment and get their life back. And so it's great that our communities have been able to do that, and will continue to work to do that into the future. So those were the things I wanted to touch on this morning. I appreciate you all taking the time to come out and listen, and would love to take any questions you have about Snohomish County government or anything else that we're working on in the county. Thank you.
We have just a couple minutes for some questions. Thank you.
Good morning, Nate. I'm Lynn Reed, and I've worked in the community with to help. My initial goal was to help women and children in the community. What I found was that the drug problem was a big part of that. The women that I helped didn't want to get out of their situation. They wanted to have resources so they could continue to be addicted. But the people that I wanted to help that I couldn't help were elderly women who are on Social Security and they don't have a place to live. There's no place for these women. We had so many women in their 60s, even 70s, living in their cars. We also had women who had children and weren't addicted, but were living in a domestic violence situation, and we had no resources unless their life was like in immediate danger. So several times I had to, after working, I had to send them back to that domestic violence situation. So I want to know if this is on your radar and if this is something that we can start. I feel like the opioid crisis and the homeless crisis has just pushed those situations into the background, and I want to know, are we working and planning and thinking about resources for these women?
Yeah, it's a great question and a really good point. And I think it's really important when we have conversations about homelessness to kind of separate these different populations, because they oftentimes get mixed together. But you have a population who's struggling with some kind of substance abuse or mental health issue. But there's also, I think, a population that's being forgotten or a little bit set to the side of people who aren't struggling with substance abuse or mental health, but maybe have lost a job, or single mothers with families, or victims of domestic abuse. And so much of the resources are going into the drug-related issue, the substance abuse and the mental health, which is important because that's a huge population of people. But it's so critical that we don't forget about that other population who is still homeless but just isn't struggling with that addiction, and so maybe is not able to get access to those same services. In Snohomish County, in our last budget, we put a specific expenditure for domestic violence victims. I know our prosecuting attorney's been working a lot on that, and so we're working really hard to ensure that that's a population that's not forgotten and that we have services available for the elderly, as you mentioned, and victims of domestic violence as well. So a really important question. Thank you for bringing that up.
One more question.
Good morning. My name is Marilyn Sheldon, and I work with the Tulalip Tribe's Charitable Contributions. I work with a large number of organizations that are having similar, if not the exact same issue with regards to homelessness. But you haven't touched on mental health, and that's a huge issue. And I'd like to know what is your plan? What is your strategic plan for dealing with the homeless issue at all lengths? And if you look at Plymouth Housing in Seattle, they're doing significant work in that area, and I would advise you to really go down there and take a look at all the different types of housings that they're looking at and they're gleaning from their communities, understanding that there'll always be that 1 or 2% that will not get help. They'll still be there, and they're still part of our community. Mm-hmm. And there's still people too. There's somebody's uncle, there's somebody's aunt, there's somebody's child. And so I think that's part of our population that we should also consider.
Absolutely. Good question. And yeah, to your last point, I think that population of people who are not wanting to take the help, absolutely, they deserve the dignity of any other person. And that's why I think it's so important that we take that approach that says we want to get you into treatment as opposed to continuing to live that lifestyle. Housing is a really important question. We've got great community partners. Housing Hope is one of them. A lot of nonprofits that are doing good work in Snohomish County and in Seattle and other areas as well. But mental health, I think, is a really, really important issue and is the next, maybe the next big step at the state and at the local level, because we don't have enough resources that are being put into mental health. I think we've gotten some more resources into treatment and into housing, but mental health, the state has closed their facilities, and I've heard plans about putting maybe in each county setting up satellite deals. And that's conversations from the state level. But absolutely more resources need to be put into that, and I think that's the conversation that's being had now and that we need to be tackling into the future. Great question. I'm glad you brought that up.
Well, let's give it up for Nate.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nate.
Thanks, Todd.
Well, good morning. My name is Todd Fulman. I'm going to be your MC for the rest of the show. Yes! All right. I have a few people that understand this. So it is a great day. I am so happy everyone came out on Friday. Let's give it up one more time for Amanda. That was a great presentation this morning. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. You know, talking about these economics reminds me of a friend of mine named Sam. He walks directly right into his boss's office, and he's like, "Boss, I need to have a straight-up conversation with you. You know, I know what's happening here in our company, but I want to be straight with you. I need a 5% raise starting today. I have 3 companies that are after me." And the boss thinks about it, oh man, our budgets are not that good. Our sales have been a little bit down, but you're okay, Bob. We'll keep you. We'll give you that 5% increase in raise. Bob's like, yes. Turns around, gets up out of the chair, is walking to the door. The boss goes, "Hey, Sam, before you leave, what's the names of those 3 companies that are after you?" "Well, the power company, the electric company, and the phone company." Okay. All right. That was a courtesy applause. I deserve it. So, thanks. You know, some of us came here for some networking, okay, and to get to know one another at our tables. So this is the part of the show where we get to introduce ourselves, talk about our businesses for about 1 minute each. And so I'm going to ring this bell. This bell, when it rings, so everyone get out their business cards and think about their elevator speeches, because we're going to go around. Everybody's going to take a turn. We're going to spend about 6 to 7 minutes in this portion to network, to get to know one another. All right? So when you hear the bell, ding, you'll begin. When you hear the bell, ding, it'll be the next person's chance at the table. Okay? Here we go. Thank you. Okay, folks, we'll have this meeting concluding this morning right around 11 a.m., okay? Great. Excellent. Thank you. Nate. Well, once again, I want to thank our sponsors. Again, first, Northwest Bank. It's great to be here. And there's more than Amanda here. So if you have any questions for our sponsors, just please go and see them after the show. And one more time, thanks again for Nate. Thank you so much. That is incredible information. The work you and others are doing in our community to help improve our lives. If you have additional questions for Nate is going to be around here for a little bit to answer your questions. If you have something more that you didn't get a chance to ask, Nate is going to be here for a little bit after the program. Moving on in our program, now we'd like to introduce our new members since our last breakfast before hours. This is always a pleasure to have new members come on board. They're so excited and ready to go, just like, of course, our old members and our tenured members, you are so welcomed as well. So if you'd like to, when you hear your business and your name announced, if you could please come up here and join me here to the left, your right here by this banner, and then you'll have 1 minute to tell us who you are and what makes you so great that we want to call and use your businesses today, okay? John Kelly Golf, please come up. Thank you. Square Foot LLC, in the house. Yes, thank you. Sprague Pest Solutions. Sprague Pest Solutions. Come on. All right. And Volunteers of America. Volunteers of America, please come forward. Thank you. First, please announce your name, your business, and tell us a little about yourself.
Yes, right here. You need a star. You need a star right there. There it is. My name is John Kelly. I own and operate John Kelly Golf. We are an indoor golf facility near Lakewood High School in the Smoky Point area. I got over 30 years experience in the golf industry. We do player development and Titleist Performance Institute training, golf specific. We touched 7 high schools last year. We've been open for a little more than a year. And so if you have anybody, and that's the biggest thing, if you're a golfer, it's heaven. If you're not a golfer, you have no clue. So stop by and see us. We are an appointment-only facility. And so if you need anything, I have cards. I'm available. And I look forward to meeting all of you in the future. Thank you so much.
So thank you. So in other words, I can just swing by? I got to make an appointment first. Okay, sure. And didn't I? Yeah, right off the. Next, thank you.
Hi, my name is John Vessels, and I'm John Vessels, and I'm representing Square Foot. We're a local company that handles any kind of home repairs, commercial repairs, and this company, it's amazing. It's like family. You got all these guys doing all these different jobs on top of each other, and yet we get the job done perfectly. I mean, it's just an amazing company to be with. I've also got Becky and Benjamin. Benjamin's our project manager sitting back here. And Becky is the cog that keeps us going. When we get in trouble, we call her. She comes and takes care of us. So anyway, I'm one of the foremen that work on the jobs out there. Like I said, if you need something done, doesn't matter how big or how small, we're the company that can do it all.
Excellent. So when you get that golf ball, hit it against your house, breaking a window or some siding, you call this guy. That's right. Again, that'll be me doing the golf ball, by the way. Thank you so much. Hey, hello, I recognize you.
Todd gave me a great one-liner. He said, you can let everybody know not to pester, right? Not to bother everybody, but not to pester everybody. Don't bug me, right? So again, my name's Gary. I'm with Sprague Pest Control. I actually wanted to take a moment to recognize my teammate Lucas. Lucas, if you could stand up back there. There you are. He's over there. You switched places on me. Lucas and I are only two people out of a staff of 20 that are employed here locally in Marysville. Because of the work that Lucas does, consumers like you and I eat safer food. We live and work in healthier, safer environments. Sprague is family owned and operated. We're commercial only. Our niche in the market is audit readiness. So if you're familiar with the term of being audit ready, certainly somebody I want to meet today if I could. From Shoreline all the way north to the Canadian border and as far east as North Bend, our Marysville Sprague team provides vital, preventative, and remedial pest management and consulting services to leading national, local, food processing, storage, distribution, agriculture, and healthcare hospitality facilities. In closing, I'd like to thank Dave Watson for being such a positive resource for the community. Also Todd, he was very helpful coming by as part of the community chamber. If you guys know Dave, you know he likes to talk. He's from Texas. I too like to talk. I'm from Missouri. When I met Dave, I went in to just drop off business cards. He encouraged me to do this. Be warned if you do that. So I stopped by. All I remember is being so excited talking to Dave, and when I left, the only thing I could remember is it took 45 minutes to drop off my business cards. So Dave, I need to schedule an appointment to drop off more business cards. Other than that, as a closing reminder, any chamber member that needs a free pest assessment, feel free to give us a call. Again, we are commercial only, but we will be locally helping out from Shoreline all the way north to the border and as far east as North Bend. So thank you.
Thank you so much. That didn't bug me at all. Come here. I think we have some more to talk about. Just joking. I got some business cards too. Well, welcome. Come on up. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Belinda Ritchie. I'm with Volunteers of America. I've been coming to these breakfasts and getting so much out of them that I went back to my boss, the CEO of Volunteers of America, and said, I think we need to be a part of the Chamber of Commerce. And it just so happens that we have a new CEO, and he fully agreed, and he attended his first meeting with me during the State of the Tribes, I think it was the last one? Yeah. Anyway, I am the program manager at Maud's House, which is a women's and children's shelter in Marysville. I am the only person in homeless services for Volunteers of America of Western Washington. It was interesting listening about homelessness and drug abuse. We do have a lot of women come through treatment and into Maud's House. Unfortunately, there's no housing for them. And some have been there longer than the recommended stay, but as I've told people at the county level, sorry, but I'm not putting them on the street. That's where they came from. And so anyway, we are having an open house today at Maud's House at 615 Cedar in Marysville There'll be signs out and balloons. And we would love anybody to come by and tour the house and have some fresh carne asada. We're having a big Mexican fiesta birthday party for 2 of our children who happen to be Hispanic. And we are going to have a bouncy house, so you can bring your kids. It's from 3 to 5, and I'd love to see you there. We're glad to be part of the Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you. Thank you. Now we're going to do showcase tables. We're going to have some showcase tables come up. If you've had a showcase table, and I want to let you know, if you are interested in having one of these showcase tables, you can be able to go out there and put out your wares and hand out some stuff and talk to some great people before and after the program. So now if you've had a showcase table, if you'd like to please come forward. We have showcase tables, 4-day fireplace. Please come forward. Sherwood Community Services and the Fulman Property Group. You can please come up, please. Stand right over here. 4-day fireplace? Yes. Sherwood Community Services.
Hi, my name is Jessica. I'm with Sherwood Community Services. I am also the new Mrs. 4-day Fireplace. So you may remember me as that for just a little bit, but hopefully eventually you will remember me as Jessica from Sherwood Community Services. We're a nonprofit in Lake Stevens, and we provide services to children and adults with disabilities. So we provide early intervention services to infants and toddlers if they've been diagnosed with a delay or a disability. So speech therapy, motor therapy, occupational therapy. And then once they graduate, they can come back to us and we'll help them find employment. So job coaching, job carving, supported employment, resume building, and we just support them through that employment side. So on the table, I've left a couple of things. If you're interested in signing up for our newsletter, if you're interested in learning more about any of our programs, there's a card there. Feel free to fill that out. Also, we have an upcoming Abilities Day. On September 8th, we've partnered with Bob's Corn and Pumpkin Farm to provide a sensory-friendly day at the farm for children and adults with disabilities. So it's going to have all the fun fall traditions, the corn maze, corn crib, hay rides, just no pumpkin cannon or apple cannon, and so it's going to be a quieter, calmer setting. So, and we do have scholarships available for that. It's $15 per person, and that includes a caregiver, parent, or guardian. And then we do have scholarships available made possible by Primera and Gaffney Construction. So if you're interested to learn more about Sherwood, please come over and say hi, and thanks for believing with us.
How about the amazing weather we've been having?
Yes.
I'm here to tell you, winter is coming. My name is Eric. I'm with 4-Day Fireplace. We are your local community-focused, family-owned fireplace shop. We're full service. We do everything from annual cleanings and maintenance to make sure the fireplace you have is going to continue to keep you warm in the winter, to adding fireplaces to places that have never had fireplaces. We do all our gas piping, framing, construction, installation, and finish work in-house, which means that you give us 4 days, we can turn that living room into a gathering place. Very simply, very easily, we help you guide through the entire process. So if you have a fireplace or you'd like a fireplace, come see us. We've got a 3,000 square foot showroom just down the road on 88th and State. Come on in, drink a cup of coffee, look at all sorts of cool stuff. Also, some of you saw an article in the Herald a couple months ago. People are finding $1,500 sitting in their fireplaces. There is a Washington State change-out program if you have an old clunky wood stove or wood insert. There is the Puget Sound Clean Air Agency that will give you $1,500 towards swapping it out to a more efficient, more environmentally friendly gas insert, and we can facilitate that whole process for you too. So if you like free stuff, come see me too.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. My name is Todd Fulman. I'm here representing the Fulman Property Group. We are real estate brokers here that serve North Snohomish County. And here's some interesting news for everybody out there. Median sales prices for homes have increased from $377,000 last year to $421,500 this year. Yes, that's a significant increase year over year. The inventory has increased, but check this out, 28.6% increase in reported pending sales last month. This is going to be a phenomenal fall season. We're looking at robust sales happening. Why? Because interest rates are hovering right below 4%, and inventory levels are at 1.55 months of inventory, which definitely favors the seller. Now, if you're interested in some more information, we have some lovely trifolds there on your table. You can pick one of those up, read it, use it, just don't throw it away. Pass it along to somebody else. Now, you have all this information. I also have some candies on that table. Now, you can eat those Smarties right now, or you can put them in your pants, leave here, and be a Smartie Pants, okay? Thanks. Okay, it's an ongoing joke. If you're here, you'll hear it again, okay? So there you go. Now, moving on to the program, we are going on to Roving Mic. Here at the Roving Mic, any chamber member who uses a roving mic time to do a kudo or a testimony or an upcoming event that's coming up here in our community can come up here and spend about 30 seconds describing that event, kudo to somebody else, and they also get a chance to put a business card there for our raffle prize as well. So anybody is interested in the roving mic portion, please come forward right over here, please.
Good morning, Todd. Thank you, and good morning, everyone. I am Jody Runyon, Director of Engagement and Outreach for the Marysville School District. I'm here with Superintendent Jason Thompson, and thank you, Councilman Nehring, for that very informative presentation. And I will say that we are absolutely thrilled to be a partner with the Regional Apprenticeship Program. So very excited about that. Just want to let everybody know, winter's not coming, school is coming. So school starts for most on September 4th. That is not very far away from now. And I just want to say most because most of our students are starting on September 4th, but for our middle and high schools, our 6th and 9th graders will start on the 4th, but everyone else in middle and high school will start on the 5th. And the reason for that is we are doing some relationship building exercises with those new 6th graders and new freshmen for the first time this year, which is really great. So we're super excited about that. So buses will start rolling really soon, so keep an eye out for the big yellow bus and also all of the students walking to school. Thanks for the time.
Thank you so much. Yes, we're looking forward to getting our kids back into school.
Good morning. I'm Alicia Delegans with Seroptimus International of Marysville. We're a nonprofit organization that supports women and girls within our community. I'm here to encourage you all to attend our annual auction, which is scheduled for October 19th at the Angel of the Winds in Everett. We are, it's a big event, it's fun, we all have a good time. We're also looking for people who might want to donate to our cause, and also if you don't have any specific donations necessarily, we do have sponsorships available for businesses, and in the for $500, $250, or $100, it's called sponsorship. So those things are available as well. Tickets are also available online through Eventbrite. On your tables, you have several different things that will promote our auction. A small card. We also have a flyer as well on your table that can provide you more information. So if you're interested, please let us know. We also have within the chamber here, we also have other members that are Seroptimus members as well. So if you could, the other Seroptimus members in our group, if you could raise your hand, you can always contact them as well. So anyway, thanks so much.
Thank you. I thought I saw something about diamonds. Diamonds? The diamonds. Denim and diamonds. Check out on your table. All the information is there. You like denim and diamonds? I do. Check it out. Next.
Nathan with Pure Dry Restoration and Pure Clean Carpet Cleaning. We dry out homes and businesses. We do a complete floor care. Huge shout out to Tulalip Resort Casino. The vast majority of our business comes from referrals, real estate agents, property managers, plumbers, housekeeping teams, maintenance teams. We do individual homes up to hotels, resorts, casinos, hint, hint. But a huge shout out to Tulalip because we wanted to throw a party for just a few of our referral partners. 2 Saturdays ago, about 40 of us took over the draft for food and drinks and boisterousness. We did raffle giveaways for cash for gaming, which was very well received. Then we came over here to canoes for dancing and possibly more adult beverages. It was a blast. I mean, it was not only fun, but the team at both the draft and canoes made us feel like we were best friends. I mean, it was incredible. We had our own spot. They were very attentive, and we are very grateful. I'm still getting texts from 2 weeks ago still about how wonderful it was, how much fun they had. It brought us closer as business partners. So thank you so much for making us look really, really good.
Oh, now there's some love right there. All right. Thank you. Hello, Robin.
Good morning. I'm here on behalf of the Marysville Sunrise Rotary. Todd happens to be a member and didn't say anything about this, but we're having our annual fundraiser on Saturday, the annual golf tournament and shrimp boil. I'm sorry the golf tournament is sold out, but the shrimp boil is still on, and we're putting 2 free tickets to the dinner in the raffle. Worth $100. And we'd love to see you there. Either way, we'll be at the reception there at the golf course. We'll be there all day. There's live music by the Aardvark. Thank you. I didn't want to say it wrong. And, of course, there's a lot of entertainment because people like Todd are in our group. Of course, he doesn't tell you he's a member of the Rotary, and his lovely wife. He hasn't even bought her own woman Rotary pin yet. No shame, Todd. Hope to see everyone there. See what happens.
You got any more? Okay, thanks. Woo! I feel great now. Thank you, Robin. I'll get you back later. Please.
Good morning. I'm Lynn Reed with the Whistle Stop Sweet Shop here in Marysville, and I have so much to say, so I'm going to hurry. I want to give a shout out to Todd and Rochelle and welcome them home. I have followed them on vacation via Facebook, and they did a lot of work, but they also had a lot of fun, so we lived through them. It was a good time, but welcome home. I want to give a shout out to Jessica Shaw about her Abilities Days. This group does so much for our community, and when she brought this in and asked if we wanted to hand out these cards to people, I was happy to do it, but I was most happy when our newest crew member or family member, Emily, said, I get to take my little brother to this. So it hits close to home, and I get to find out how wonderful this event is going to be through my employee bringing her little brother who's on the spectrum and is darling. I also want to give a shout out to Steve Powell and the Aardvarks. All summer he's been inviting us to listen to him play, and now we get to finally do it at the shrimp boil. So I want to say thank you to the Rotary. I'm excited to join you. I've got the tickets. Thank you. And I'm just excited for all of it. So I just want to let you know, the Whistle Stop is doing some crazy things because that's who we are. So we are putting in a party/events room in the back of our store. And that's going to be available if you want to have a company gathering, if you want to have meetings, if you want to plan a child's birthday that falls in the winter, or a baby shower, any of that kind of stuff. You can get in touch with us, and we will stay open and give you this room to have your gathering in. And we're also going to get a table next month to announce to you guys that we're doing these party packages. If you want to buy fudge, that kind of stuff from the store for your company employees for the Christmas season, or for some of your vendors, or for some of your coworkers, or some of the people that you do work with. We'll have a panel of 4 different choices for you to choose from. We can make up these baskets and you can give them out at Christmas time. So think of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And the Love Fest continues.
Hi, I'm Steve Powell, president of the Marysville Kiwanis Club, and I'm here selling tickets for our first annual Marysville Crabtoberfest. We raise money for scholarships for graduating seniors in Marysville. The event is September 26th at the Marysville Opera House, and we're going to have all-you-can-eat Alaskan king crab. There's going to be music, door prizes, all kinds of fun. Tickets, if you buy them before September 12th, are only $50. After that, it's $65. So, again, I have some here. If you buy them today, the Marysville Globe will kick in a Starbucks card. So, and I'll be giving a couple away here in just a second.
Excellent. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, who feels like a winner? Everybody feels like a winner, because now we're going to do our raffle prizes. If you brought a raffle prize, please come over here and line up here, right over here, and then bring your prizes up front. Robin, you're going to give away your tickets, the Louisiana Shrimp Boil tickets, because you're part of Rotary. Okay? I'm not embarrassed. Ken, please, if you'd like to be first, or Robin.
Square Foot LLC, Ben Sherwood.
Ben Sherwood, you're going to the shrimp boil, buddy. Come on down. Here we go. Next, please.
Hi, good morning again. Ken Kettler from Tulalip Resort Casino. We have a $50 gift certificate for Cedars Restaurant. Locals and resort favorite, open 24 hours a day. Many locals, it's their favorite restaurant. Great menu. Enjoy a night out. As we heard earlier, our staff will take great care of you, especially if you have a special occasion. Come on in and have fun. The winner of Cedars Aaron Bale, Computer Support Services. Congratulations.
Great job, Aaron. You're getting a free dinner. It's not shrimp at the shrimp boil, but it's free dinner.
And no doubt, great dinner. Hi, Renee James with Hometown Value Savings Magazine. Our Marysville Tulalip is hot off the press. If you didn't get a copy in your mailbox, we've got some extra copies over by the door. If you're interested in promoting your business, we are currently working on our North Snohomish County, which is Smoky Point, Arlington, Stanton, Camino. It mails to 30,000 homes. It's a direct mail piece. So if you're looking to promote your business, we'd love to help you. I've got 2 tickets to the Evergreen State Fair. Savvy Jeans?
Savvy Jeans? You're going to the fair. Now that is a fair prize. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We have a lot of gifts today. Come on up.
Good morning. I'm Donna Wright from the Marysville Historical Society. We invite you to come to the museum, and also the facility is available for rent, and business members get a discount. So this morning I have those wonderful historical photos that may look like old calendars, but they're fun. And also there's a ceramic centennial tile in there.
Okay, we have the winner. Deborah Solverb. Deborah? Excellent. Thank you. Next. We've seen you a couple times today.
Jessica again with Sherwood Community Services. I want to invite everybody. I do a lot of work on our social media, so we get a lot of good engagement on Facebook. So I invite everybody to just come check out our Facebook page. We've got lots of events coming up in the next couple of months. What I brought is some wine and some Sherwood wine glasses. We have a wine and dine event up in, I can't think of where it's at right now. Swan Trail Farms.
That's where it is.
Yes, that's where it is, in March. So we've got some wine glasses for that. So, thank you. Walmart, Chris Crowder.
Chris Crowder, yes, you're the winner. Good day today for Chris. Next, please. The prizes never stop at the breakfast before hours. You want to come back every meeting.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Nate Hansen. I am the personal banking consultant at First Financial Northwest Bank at the Marketplace on 172nd Street. This is my peer, Amy Franklin. She's a personal banking consultant for our Lake Stevens office on 91st Avenue. Before anything, though, I want to thank everybody for the opportunity for the sponsorship this morning. To speak to the kind of people we put into our locations and our community focus. I'm literally born and raised about a mile from here. Been participating with the Marysville Chamber of Commerce since I was about 8 years old. Kind of surreal to get to be here as an adult participating instead of just a kid in the wings. So I want to thank all of you for coming this morning. It's been a wonderful opportunity. And we've got some great prizes to give away here. We'll start with what Amy's got: a fine bottle of wine, water bottle, couple of glasses, cute basket, and $50 gift certificate to the Bonefish and Outback Grill at the Marketplace on 172nd Street. So we'll pull our first card here.
You can't pick your own. I'm joking.
How about Eric Shaw, Mr. Shaw, the recently married? Well, isn't that convenient? We were just joking with Mrs. Shaw about great minds thinking alike with the wine, so I hope you enjoy that as much as what you brought. Smart man right there. You got that one, and Mara Talman from the Tulalip Resort Casino. Not Melissa Q. Johnson, whose name is crossed out here. Any takers? All right. And in this basket, we have a bottle of champagne, some great tchotchkes. We are kind of the unique innovative solution bank. So you got a charger, you've got some headphones, you have got a wall port, you've got a hat, you've got some clippies, some USB stuff, a fine coffee mug, as I have on my table right there with about its fourth refill, and also another gift certificate to the Outback and Bonefish to go to Mr. Thomas Stoneham Judge of Judd & Black. All right, back to Todd.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nate. The man who needs no introduction.
I just realized this morning I have to introduce my wife to Todd because he's the only man I know whose jokes are as bad as mine. Okay, Marysville Globe is giving out two Starbucks cards, and you can all have one if you buy today tickets to the Crabtoberfest. So anyway. Oh, I almost grabbed my own. I saw it. I know. Tom and Janice Miller Beef Jerky Outlet. Oh, no. Lynn and Steve Reed.
Thank you so much, Steve.
I'm Eric, your friendly fireplace guy. And because winter is coming, I'm also, yes, Mr. Sherwood, I suppose. So that you can kick back and relax in front of that nice, cozy fireplace. We have a bottle of wine, and keeping with the winter is coming theme, some fancy Game of Thrones goblets for that wine.
Whoa.
Amanda from First Financial.
Yeah, I'll take that. Great job, Amanda. All right. We have one more prize to give away. I'm glad you stuck around, didn't you?
Hi, good morning, everybody. Jim Colon, Marysville Toyota. We are very, very proud to be Toyota's newest dealer in the country, and we are right here in Marysville, and we have recently just celebrated our first year in business, and we want to thank the community for coming out to support us and doing business the easy way. I have 2 passes for the Boeing Classic, which is here this weekend. And the Western Washington Toyota dealers have 2 clubhouse passes. You gotta help me out. I don't have the cheaters. Jim Hallerson.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Okay, now here to close us out, once again. Oh, wait a minute, another one. But wait, there's more. Don't hang up those phones.
Good morning, Kim Thompson with Prime Lending. So who out there likes to save money? I think everybody. So I have great news for you. As you heard Todd say earlier, interest rates have hit mortgage interest rates have hit a 15-month low. So if you are looking to buy, that means that you can lock in a low rate and you can save on your monthly mortgage payment. If you are a homeowner, that means, maybe a refinance. It might drop your mortgage insurance because we've also seen that appreciation in our homes. The other is maybe you want to get rid of some high interest debt by doing a cash out refinance. So if that sounds like something that you might be interested in, buying or refinancing, please call Kim Thompson with Prime Lending, Home Loans Made Simple. I have a wonderful backpack, lunch bag, and school supplies here going out.
Look whose card's right there on top.
Well, I'm not going to draw my own. I would have done that for one of the other things. We have JJ Frank from the YMCA.
JJ, oh, what a great gift. Wonderful, wonderful. Are we all out of gifts? We're done. Okay, we'll have King Kettler come up here and close us out.
Thank you, Todd. Tough act to follow. So first of all, I want to thank Nate Nehring for a wonderful presentation on the county this morning. Nate, I'll call your dad and tell him to be sure to check out the cable replay. Thank you to our sponsor today, First Financial Northwest Bank. You and your team did a wonderful job, so it was exciting to hear about you. Thanks to our chamber volunteers and emissaries for all they do to help, not only today, but every day, with new members, with services at the facility. They do a great job. And we want to thank our staff here, the staff that serves and cooks our breakfast. It's the best breakfast in Snohomish County. Tulalip Resort. And a big thanks to you, our members, for your ongoing commitment to this great business community and that our chamber serves. Upcoming events, we talked about the Chamber Quarterly Luncheon Tuesday, September 10th at the Opera House with the guest speaker and author Nikki Rausch that Jessica mentioned. 27th, September 27th, Business Before Hours, the Candidates Forum, which is always exciting. It will have positions both for the city and county, so be sure and try to make that one. They're always interesting to find more about all the candidates. Save the date for Home for the Holidays, our chamber dinner and auction. Really important to the chamber. It's a major fundraiser that helps us with our annual budget. Plus, it's a fun event. It's here at Tulalip, December 5th. In the ballroom, we tie into the Festival of Trees, which is a beautiful event and a backdrop for the dinner. If you haven't gone, please take a look into it. It's a lot of fun. And then remember to drop off your Business Award nomination forms, which you have on your table. If you filled that out on the way out, there's a table. And also some details on membership drive. Membership is always important. So, all the kudos and the thank yous we heard today, pass them on to another friend that maybe that's just starting up or been in business for a while. They need to get on board with the chamber. We provide great services and a strong network. So thank you for all coming this morning and have a great weekend. And go Hawks.